Recording in progress.
Good evening and welcome to the January 22nd City of Oceanside Planning Commission meeting. If I can get everybody to stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. Repeat after me. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. City Planner, can you do a roll call, please?
No, don't.
Certainly, Chair Rosales. Chair Rosales.
Present.
Vice Chair Morrissey.
Here?
Commissioner Balma.
Here.
Commissioner Anthony. Commissioner Dodds.
Here.
Commissioner Ogden.
Present.
And Commissioner Malik. Commissioner Malik indicated he wouldn't be here. So we do have a quorum of the Planning Commission for the record.
Thank you. Communication on matters not on tonight's agenda. Any slips?
Chair Rosales, no, we do not have any slips tonight.
Great, thank you. We will go to approval of the meetings minutes from our last meeting, which would have been some time ago, December 18th. Last year. Any discussion? Motion?
Make a motion that we approve the minutes last meeting.
Thank you. We have a motion, Vice Chair Morrissey, for approval. Any discussion? Second?
I'll second.
Second, Commissioner Dodds. Let's go ahead and vote.
Chair Ogden, oh, never mind, thank you.
Let the record show that the motion passes 4-0 with Commissioner Ogden abstaining.
Okay, consent calendar. We have no items listed this evening and no items under transportation items. So we'll go to our public hearings items. We have one item tonight, consideration of a regular coastal permit for a remodel project. Applicant is Stephen and Carol Watkins. Disclosures, I'll start. I'm going to recuse myself from this item. I know the applicant, and I have received some campaign funding from the applicant, so I will recuse myself from this item and turn it over to Vice Chair Morrissey.
So visited the site and reviewed the materials.
I'm familiar with the site and had the staff report.
I'm familiar with the site as well and reviewed the staff report.
Mr. Ogden, did you have any disclosures? No. Okay, no disclosure. Okay. Rob, proceed, please.
All right, Vice Chair, a technical difficulty here.
Take your time.
There we go. Good evening, Vice Chair and Planning Commissioners. I'm Rob Demahowski with the Planning Division and here to present a request for a coastal permit by Stephen and Carol Watkins. The applicant is requesting a regular coastal permit for the construction of a second-story addition above a detached garage and a remodel to an existing single-family residence at 1 St. Malo Beach in the St. Malo Beach community. The project site is a 6,233 square foot lot and is located at the corner of Eaton Street and South Pacific Street and is adjacent to the gated entrance of St. Malo. The site is bordered by single-family residences with St. Malo themed architecture on all sides. The site is currently developed with an existing 1,978 square foot single-family residence and a 441 square foot detached garage with driveway access on Eaton Street. The site is designated single-family detached residential by the general plan and low-density residential by the city's local coastal program, land use plan, and is located within the appeal jurisdiction of the California Coastal Commission. The property has a zoning designation of single-family residential, or R1. The proposed project would include the construction of a 487 square foot second-story addition above an existing detached garage for a master suite and would include a connection to the second floor of the main house. The proposed master suite would include a master bedroom and bathroom and a walk-in closet. An enclosed bridge would connect a hallway between the master suite and the second story of the house and create a multi-purpose space with built-in features such as a new pantry. The project would also include an interior remodel of the existing kitchen and guest bathroom on the second floor of the home, with the former master bedroom converted into a study. Consistent with the French Normandy-themed architecture of the St. Malo community, the proposed addition would include key features such as white stucco and timbered walls, multi-pane windows, brick accents, and a steep pitched roof. Prior to submitting a coastal permit to the city, the applicant received approval by of the architectural drawings by the St. Malo Association's Architectural Review Committee in August of 2023. Here's a view of the south elevation, noting key design details being carried out on all elevations. A view of the east elevation and a view of the west elevation. Approval of a coastal permit is subject to conformance with the general plan, the coastal program, and compliance with the zoning ordinance. The project is consistent with the general plan land use policies to promote quality architectural design and enhance visual quality of the neighborhood. The project is found consistent with the land use plan of the local coastal program in that the project is compatible with the surrounding neighborhood in terms of design and would have no impact on coastal resources. And furthermore, the project would comply with all required development standards of the R1 district in accordance with Article 10C of the zoning ordinance. Therefore, staff recommends that the Planning Commission confirm issuance of a Class 1 categorical exemption for an existing facility and approve regular coastal permit RC 2307 by adopting Planning Commission Resolution number 2024-P01 with findings and recommended conditions of approval. This concludes my presentation. The applicant is in attendance this evening and available for questions. Thank you.
Thanks, Rob. Does anyone have any questions for staff? So I see no questions. Would the applicant like to make a presentation, or should we go right to? Yeah, you're good.
I have a question.
Yeah,
I have a question.
yes. Commissioner Baum.
I have a curiosity question. I just thought it was so fun to see how your downstairs doesn't connect to upstairs. That you pretty much, if you stayed in the downstairs bedroom, you got to go outside and go up the stairs.
Correct.
And today it would be probably a kind of a problem, but pretty much your whole other times in the house, you probably enjoyed the nice climate and never had a problem. But I just thought that was unusual. I just thought, what does it feel like to live in a place like that? I don't know.
Traditionally, many of the homes in St. Malo they don't have interior hallways or interior staircases. They're all exterior. So
Really?
that's kind of the norm. But
Okay.
yes, on days like today,
Yeah.
you get a little wet. It's okay. But we're upstairs because all the living areas upstairs, because when the house was built, there was no home on the beach across the street. So it had ocean views. So they put all the living areas on the second story. So you had ocean views.
Yeah.
But now we have tree views, not
Yeah.
ocean. A little sliver of ocean.
When was your house built?
I believe it was built in 74.
Okay.
75.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. Nice
good.
place to live.
Yes. We love it. Thank you.
Yeah.
Good.
Thank you. Well, if there's Any questions for us, or can I entertain a motion?
Motion.
Sure. Commissioner Anthony, do you have a disclosure for tonight's agenda?
Just that I've read the report and are familiar with the area.
Okay, perfect. Thank you. Thank you.
All right.
Well, I'd like to make the
Go
motion.
ahead.
Make the motion to confirm a Class 1 category exemption for existing facilities pursuant to Section 15301E of the California Environment Quality Act and approve regular coastal permit RC 23-00007 by adopting Planning Commission Resolution number 2024-P01 with findings and conditions of approval attached herein.
All right. And I would second that and also offer, hope that you have joy building your new addition. It looks like a great place, and good luck.
Okay, can we vote, please?
Let the record show that the motion passes 5-0.
Thank you, congratulations. Okay, I see. No other items on the agenda, so then the next thing is,
Vice Chair Moore, oh, here he comes. I was going to mention that we might
Here we
want to
go.
call the chair in.
I don't know, steal your thunder. You kind of threw me for a really slow, and I'm thinking, I forgot you were leaving.
Where are we?
Okay, we're done. We're finished with Steve.
So appeal of,
Yeah.
okay. All right, carrying on, we have nothing on the agenda under appeal of city planners determination, no discussion or miscellaneous items. So we'll go to city planner commissioner reports. Hi, Dennis. I'll start off. I have been the chair of the Planning Commission for a long time. I think I was elected chair right as COVID was happening. So do the math. We're coming up on 4 years. So I've asked, before I go there, my recommendation is that we agendize election of a new chair and vice chair at our next meeting. I don't know if anybody has any input to that, but I've asked Sergio to do that in advance of today's meeting. But that being said, I wanted to entertain any discussion. I think 4 years as a chair is probably long enough. There were reasons, I think, to stay as a chair during COVID. It was just a really awkward and cumbersome time to do meetings virtually and otherwise, and we had a lot going on. So, but that's past us now. So I think it's time to make a change. So, or at least contemplate a change. So, any discussion? If everybody's okay with that, then we would agendize it for our next meeting.
Good idea.
Yep.
Okay. So, Sergio, if you would do that. That's it for my reports. Vice Chair Morrissey?
No report?
Commissioner Obama?
No report?
Commissioner Anthony?
No report.
Commissioner Dodds?
No report.
Commissioner Malik is absent this evening, and Commissioner Ogden? No report. And by the way, Happy New Year, everybody. This is our first meeting of the year, so let's make it a good one. Then I'll turn it over to City Planner for your report. Sergio?
Thank you, Chair Rosales, members of the Planning Commission. Some upcoming items, upcoming meeting dates and items. For the next meeting of February 12th, we don't have any items agendized at this time. I think the deadline's quickly approaching, so it's likely that that meeting will be canceled. For the meeting on February 26th, staff will be asking the Planning Commission to consider a car wash facility at the end of Via Las Rosas and El Camino Drive. There's a kind of partially developed pad there. It has a large retaining wall. It's been there for a number of years. We've had this application on file for a number of years, so we're finally bringing it forward at that meeting.
That's so interesting. I happened to go for a run yesterday, and I ran by that, and the yellow planning sign was down on the ground, so I stopped and I put it back up.
Nice.
And
Well,
I
thank
looked,
you for
and
that.
while I put it back up, I looked and I go, car wash, huh? Okay, so
Yeah.
good timing.
Yes, that's funny. And then we'll also be asking the Planning Commission to consider addition at 1628 South Pacific Street, so it's a regular coastal permit. And then finally, not 100% guaranteed yet, but we'll likely be bringing back another revision to the short-term rental ordinance for recommendation to City Council. Just a brief background, at their meeting on December 20th, the City Council provided some direction to further preclude STRs, this time in the coastal zone. So the direction was for no new unhosted STRs within the coastal zone outside of the RT zoning district. So we do have a zoning district. It's named the Residential Tourist District, where the City Council feels it's appropriate to have STRs. But outside of that, no more unhosted STRs. And then, so that's all we have scheduled out through the end of February. And then finally, some council action that happened back in December. So the council did adopt the STR ordinance as proposed by staff with a slight modification, the first phase of that revision to the STR ordinance. And so that basically would preclude any further unhosted STRs outside of the coastal zone. So hosted STRs will still be allowed, but any new unhosted STRs would be precluded 30 days after the reading, which is quickly coming upon us. I think the second reading was on January 10th, so that folks have until February 10th to apply for an STR permit outside of the coastal zone.
Sergio, I have a question. So looking at the map, you have properties that are on the beach that are R1
Yes.
next to RT.
Yes.
And so first off, it doesn't make sense to me why some are RT and some are R1. And then I guess what we're considering is after a certain date, the R1s will not be able to have short-term rentals unless they're hosted?
That's correct. That is the idea.
So I guess who determined what was RT and R1 because they're right next to each other?
So that, I don't know who determined that. I can tell you that zoning map and those boundaries have been in existence since at least 1986. That's the zoning scheme that was approved by the California Coastal Commission, among others, at the time the city adopted the local coastal plan.
What time was that? When was that, sir?
That was around 1986. So we've had that zoning configuration in place since 1986.
Why was that done?
I'm sorry, Commissioner Ogden, I didn't hear your question.
Can you talk on your mic, Mike?
There you go. Was that to protect St. Malo? Why was that? That doesn't make any sense. Why was that done, if you know?
I don't know. I was in.
Is there anybody that
I was a
wouldn't?
freshman in high school in 1986.
I was in diapers back then. But who would know?
No one who's currently on staff. We just have the exhibits that were prepared, the zoning scheme that's been in place for a number of decades now. So that is the zoning regime, and there's no plans on changing that zoning regime at this time.
Being new, it just seems strange to me why all the properties north of Cassidy or whatever it was would not be single family, and the one south of that on the beach.
Yeah, the dividing line for that zoning district is actually Whaley Street.
Yeah,
So
right,
Whaley
okay.
Street's the boundary of the R1 zone.
Yeah.
South of that is R1, north of that is RT.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome.
If-
And also on that meeting at December 20th, the city council voted to grant the appeal of the appellants of the Loma Alta Terraces approval. So that will be taking an item back in the future. We haven't agendized it yet for the city council to adopt a resolution to deny that project.
We have a leg to stand on.
Yeah, what was because to do that, would they,
Against the two, but I mean,
was-
what?
what was the finding, I
The
guess?
finding that the city council made was that the street was designed at a grade more than 12%.
Peter Weiss must have come up with that. Engineering mind.
Huh, interesting.
It's good.
That concludes my, my update to the Planning Commission. Thank
Okay.
you.
Very good. So then we are adjourned until February 26th. Is that what you said?
Yeah, that's looking like that. We haven't officially canceled the meeting on February 12th, but it's
okay.
looking that it's going to happen.
Okay, so possibly February 12th, our next meeting, otherwise February 26th. But before we adjourn, Commissioner Obama.
I want to drive home already. Just got here.
What do we, I think we want to drive, we want to drive home. We are on record pace now to have the shortest meeting. Right, go
Okay.
ahead.
I'll
Go
make
ahead with your
a short,
question.
short. What do you think, like, the feel is? Like, I know that the state passed a law that you can now, if cities want to adopt, they can actually sell their ADUs. Like, how does the city feel about that? Or do you have any vibe for that?
So that's a great question, Commissioner Balma. Thanks for asking. So recently, we were asked by Union Tribune if
Oh, really?
city's going to opt into this or not, and my recommendation was that we wouldn't be opting into this because there's a lot of complexities to selling ADUs. The city's information officer confirmed that position with the city manager's office. So at this point, there's no intent to opt into that law.
That's a good choice.
Yeah,
Thank you.
interesting.
That's it. You can close your meeting.
Okay, so we are adjourned until our next meeting, either February 12th or the 26th. Thank you, everybody.
Recording stopped.
Is that our shortest one?